Well, here we go, guys, and welcome to yet another Thursday night live cast. And we got a great show for you guys, as always. One of our special guests, a returning guest, coming back to us, the California kid, they call him, although he doesn't live in California anymore. But he's got some big, exciting news to share with us today. Cody Meyer is with us, and he's got himself a brand new ride. That's right, a brand new bass boat for Cody Meyer, and he's going to share some of his secrets when it comes to wacky rigs. That's an exciting topic in itself. We got a lot of things to talk about. It's going to be a big show. Happy holidays. Sit back, grab your drinks, get your questions ready, because here we go. It's time to go live on Bass 365. That's right, guys. Welcome back to another Bass 365 Livecast. I'm Mikey Moser, and with me, of course, is the man, Ricky B. If I can get him in here. Gotta apologize, guys. I am having issues here with my internet. So we're trying to do it all off of the cell phone today.
What's up, guys? We'll figure it out. Mikey, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all our viewers out there. Great show planned for tonight and some breaking news. You'll get it first here.
I love it when that happens.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's first time stuff. We'll be the first ones to talk about it. After thinking about it, I honestly don't know how much wacky rigging we're going to get to talk about because there's so much other news we got to talk about.
That was definitely the main focus that we wanted to talk about. Cody Meyer is one of the best finesse fishermen out there, but when it comes to wacky rigs, I don't know if there is anybody better. We've even talked with other guests if they wanted to challenge somebody. All said, not Cody Meyer. That's pretty much it. So, and that's a topic. Honestly, I am weak at wacky rigs. I hardly ever throw them. I have a billion questions myself. So hopefully we can get to it. That would definitely be great. But he's got so much other stuff to talk about that maybe we don't get there. And it is the holidays, like Ricky said. So we don't want to keep him too long. I think he's got some festivities planned for his family later on or after this. So we appreciate him coming. On that note, what do you say? Why don't we just bring him right on in here?
Well, let's do a little business first. First of all, guys, this show tonight is brought to you by Daiwa, one of Cody's sponsors, a good longtime partner of Bass 365. Check out all the stuff. T-wing system, phenomenal. You better outcast your buddy in the back of the boat. And Rapid Fishing Solutions, which we got a little news coming about that right now. We talked about some Rapid stuff the other night with Bill McDonald, and we're going to break a little bit of news tonight right now with Cody Meyer. So let's bring him on in here and get it done.
That sounds great.
Cody.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
What's up, Cody? Welcome back, my friend.
Man, it is good to be back. My hat looks a little sideways here, but that's all right. But, man, I'm glad to be back. Honestly, it's what's it been, about a month or so? It's a lot colder right now where I'm at in Idaho. But, man, fishing is right around the corner. As you said, Ricky, lots of stuff to talk about tonight. So really, really excited about that.
Yeah, we're issuing technically tonight because Mikey usually runs the show and I'm trying to do it, so you'll have to bear with me.
Yeah, for some reason my internet went out literally 5 minutes before, so I'm running off of my new iPhone with the 5G service. Hope it looks good to everybody, but it's still small buttons no matter what. So,
Cody Murray says hi there, Cody.
What's up, Cody Murray?
So look, I really wanted to talk about wacky rigging tonight a lot because it's my favorite way to catch them.
Yeah.
Find the bone down.
Hold on, I got a little boy here real quick. He's
Bring him on in. Bring Dustin on in. What's he doing?
Bring him in. Special. We love surprise.
Special guest.
Show you to the camera here. He wants to find Mama's phone here, but here he is.
Dustin, what's happening, brother?
Can you
How
say
you doing,
hi?
buddy?
Are you shy?
Hi.
Hi, he's shy.
Oh,
Anyways, yeah. So, Ricky, I got a story for you guys real quick. Those that know Ricky, like Mikey said, he's the man. We were fishing one time, and Ricky and I, I think I told this story last time, but I'll just, refresh your guys' memory. We're out there fishing, and I give Ricky the rod I'm catching all these fish on. So he's firing, nothing. He can't catch He can't catch anything. And so, and I'm catching him every cast. Am I not, Ricky?
You were every cast.
And he goes, you know what? Give me your rod. You did something wrong with this rod. So I grabbed Ricky's rod, start catching him. I give him the rod I was just catching him on. He still can't catch any. So I want to share with you guys definitely some secrets tonight about fishing a wacky rig. But you know what? It's a bait. Growing up in Northern California, you have these super clear, high pressured fisheries. And I just learned to do it a long time ago. It's something that's really enjoyable. It catches, you know, so many fish and some really big fish. And quite honestly, there's times of the year where it's hard to beat it in certain situations. And, you know, even a guy like David Dudley, you know, that's a guy who I would say the last 5 years, Ricky's laughing, but he has made basically a living on throwing a wacky rig. And it's just like I say, once you start doing it, once you really get it down, it's a bait that you can't really put down. You catch a lot of fish on it.
Yeah. Well, Ricky's actually laughing. I know why he's laughing. We just had Dudley on last Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave us a really interesting rundown on his theory on a Ned rig.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I'll never look at a Ned rig the same again. Let's just go back, guys. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch last Tuesday's show with David Dudley. Please. But after that, we did talk about maybe putting out a challenge because I wanted to hear what his theory would be on a wacky rig then, if that was his Ned rig theory. And we put out a challenge on possibly putting him head to head on a wacky rig against somebody, and your name came up.
Yeah. I say we do it. Me, him, or Porosnik.
What's the other one?
yeah. We're the three that throw it just religiously. I will say with Dudley, I roomed with Dudley this year. What an experience. Just imagine that story multiplied by about 2,000 because I heard so many stories, so many theories. And I look at him and shake my head and think, you know what? This guy has no clue what he's talking about. But then he's won 4 Angler of the Years for FLW, and he beats me every tournament. So there must be something to it because he's obviously the man. But yeah,
he did say the Ned rig does not taste like ribs, just so you know.
Oh my gosh. Hey, yeah, I won't even spoil it. Just go back. You got to hear the story because when he told me this story, I thought, Dudley, if that's truly what it is, then we are overthinking so many things in bass fishing.
Yeah, true. When he started talking about it, I really thought he was just going to say it resembles that. I did not expect him to say that he actually believes that's what it represents. And that's actually why they eat it. Like,
I think he did a taste test too, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
Could be wrong.
I think he touched on that a little bit, but I was already out of it by that time.
And I need to reiterate it that he said it didn't taste like ribs.
Okay. Yeah. Cider.
But you know, honestly, the wacky rig, you said it yourself, it's deadly, and a lot of guys, including yourself, obviously, use it a lot. I have a bunch of questions because I don't use it, and I don't know why. I just don't. I just never got into it. I know it works. I know everybody else tells me it works. It's just something I don't throw. I don't even know where to throw it, when to throw it, why I would choose that over, say, a Texas rig or whatever it is. So there's a lot of questions out there. But before we do get to that, we really want to talk about your big move because I know a lot of people are really excited about that. Ricky's filled me in on quite a bit of it already here. You made a big move from something that you've always been into something new right now. So why don't you tell us all about your brand new rig there, Cody?
Yeah, you know, so I'm really excited about this, but I moved to Blazer boats, you know, and Blazer boats, when I think about Blazer in the years past, you know, I've seen a couple of them out there. Hold on real quick, Dustin. I think about Blazer boats and you think about high performance. You know, and I've seen a couple out there on the water. And this year, I was fortunate enough to get in Jason Lambert's Blazer boat. And I'll tell you what, honestly, guys, I was absolutely blown away. For one, they're extremely fast. You know, this is going to be really fun next year, right out of the gate, be able to pass guys, go really, really fast. But the ride, truly unbelievable. So surprising to me. I really feel like this is the best bass boat that no one's ever heard of or seen. So really excited about that. It's a product I strongly believe in. I was able to go to Blazer down at the factory I don't know much about fiberglass, but I will say very impressive. I saw a boat with $700 on it that came from Lake Okeechobee. No stress cracks on it. Very, very impressive. But what they do down at Blazer is they make the molds. They do everything down there. They spray the fiberglass and then they hand roll it. So when they hand roll it, you're really getting all those air bubbles out of there. Very impressive. And then they spray it again, hand roll, spray it again, hand roll. So it's a huge process. And then they leave it in the mold for a week or so, almost a week. And what that does, that will cure the boat, cure that fiberglass. You're not getting any stress cracks, but you can't pump these boats out super, super fast. So they're really about quality. And it really shows when you walk those Blazer boats and see them. And then just the storage, it's a huge front deck, rides really good. So honestly, I could not be more excited. This is one of those things this year, once I found out this is where I was going to be going, I've been really like giddy, so to speak, and telling all my buddies and, hey, wait till you see this thing, wait till you go in it. And again, just the quality, unbelievable. I strongly should suggest if you're out there on tour, I'd love to take you in a ride for this thing. I just know you're going to love it like I did. Once I got in there, it was no doubt where I wanted to be. As far as the model, I'm going to run the 650 Pro Tour. It's been out for a couple years now. Phenomenal, big boat, 21-foot boat. Fishes excellent too.
That's awesome. I know Blazer, I mean, they were around before and they kind of disappeared in the game for a while in bass fishing, but they were big heavy hitters when in saltwater stuff. Right? That's bread and butter, is it not?
It is, yeah. So Blazer, they became Blazer boats in 1978. So, a long time ago, 1978, 40-something years ago. I'm horrible at math, 42 years ago. And, they're huge in the bay boats. They're in Pensacola, Florida, right there at the bay. So make an awesome, beautiful bay boat. It's pretty funny. The owner, Keith Kraft, the original owner, and his brother, Keith was into bass fishing and fishing in the bay. Lonnie was really into the bay. So they really kind of shifted really into that bay boat market. And then as time grew on, they established a really good bass boat. And it really wasn't, I feel like, until the last, 10 years or so, they made a heavy push in the bass fishing world. And I'm so fortunate, so glad they did, because it is so fun to drive a Blazer. Very athletic boat. Like I said, that's probably the best way to describe it. Just, athletic. It does what you want it to do. And you got the speed, and of course this year I went to Mercury, very unfortunate last year with Everroot my whole career. And because of COVID, they shut down. I immediately put a Mercury on there on the back of my boat. And I'm super excited about that thing. That is also, paired up with that Blazer and the Atlas jack plate. I mean, what a treat, man. It's going to be so fun to, like I said, just to go flying around the lake and hopefully catch a lot of big ones next year.
Are you running that 250 Pro XS, the 4-stroke?
I am, yeah. And it's funny.
Add to the bone.
The one thing you hear constantly about that motor is when you start that thing up, how it sounds, and it is unbelievable. I mean, that is so cool. It sounds like a diesel on steroids or something. I don't know what it sounds like, but it's really, really awesome. A lot of performance there too.
It's definitely, it sounds mean. It sounds mean. It really does. When we get out there at any of your tournaments and you guys are all lined up and it's about time to start takeoff, you guys start firing all those up. Oh my God. It literally sends your hair standing right up.
It does. It sounds very similar to when Ricky growls in the morning before.
I don't know.
Buddy, I appreciate that. So Cody did tell me that he said, up to about 75, the boat's stable. He said, I got to drive it a little bit at 78, and I wasn't sure what to do, but I liked it.
Hey, I did like it, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's like that I kissed a girl and I liked it song. I mean, hey, it's unbelievable. For years, no secret, I've been a Ranger. Great boat, and but you point it and you pin it and you go and. Blazers or Rangers never been full speed. They really excel in other areas. And this Blazer excels so many different areas. And like I say, you're going 74, 75, and you're like, man, this is right on. This is easy. And then you start really flying and it's going to take me a little bit of time because I've never done that in a bass boat, but I swear, man, it is so enjoyable. It's just a change of pace, like a shot of adrenaline for me getting out there. I've done this for a long time, and to start flying around in a bass boat like that, it's like, man, hey, this is fun. I can, a guy down at Blazer told me, a customer, he said, you know, sometimes I don't even want to go fish. I just go out there and I ride this thing, and you drive it around for a couple hours and go flying around corners and go as fast as you can. And that's like your fix for the day. And I thought, man, I want to go out there and snatch on them, catch them. But I can definitely see that. Like, I could see just flying down the lake and getting your morning 2 hours in, getting all your, you know, your anger out and your adrenaline out, have fun in the boat and on the water, and come back and be like, oh, okay, I'm good now.
So, Cody, you know, I'm excited for you. I know Mikey's excited for you, and I'm sure the people at Blazer are super excited to have you on the staff. We do have a couple of more announcements we need to make. Let's save those towards the end of the show because we do have some wacky rig questions.
Yeah.
And some of them are kind of far back. So, Mikey, have you been keeping an eye on those, or do I need to hunt them down?
You hunt them down, and I'll start off with the questions that I got. How about that?
That's right. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting technical difficulties dealing with cell phones rather than laptops. But hey, so Cody, when it comes to wacky rigs, like I said earlier, everybody knows that how well they do, how easily you can dominate with them. And I know, I mean, the Senko itself is probably the biggest money winner on any of the tournament trails. And that's what everyone wacky rigs with, right? Wacky rig anything else, or is it just great with a Senko? Is it, explain what a wacky rig is, I guess. Tell me what you think a wacky rig is.
Yeah, so no doubt, 100%, Gary Yamamoto really was the start of the wacky rig. I'll tell you, it was 1995. Never forget, we're in Clear Lake, California. We went in there, and I'll tell you a story about Gary Yamamoto real quick. You know, so growing up on the West Coast, Yamamoto has been, still is, the best bait on the West. And really, the Senko's the best wacky rig ever made anywhere in the country. But Yamamoto invented this Senko. Now, I heard this story. I don't know if it's true or not, but when they first threw it, you know, you got your Yamamoto Senko here. I don't know exactly where that's fitting in the camera because I can't see it. But I was told this thing was invented kind of similar to a fluke, you know, and if you can see, you know, obviously it's not a fluke style bait. And a guy called up, they had 6 or 7 colors, called up and wanted to buy every single one they had in stock. They're actually thinking about discontinuing this bait. This is what I heard. I can't confirm this, but really good Western legend here. And they said, sure, we'll sell you every bait we have, every Yamamoto Senko. You know, again, there's root beer, watermelon red, green pumpkin, and daiquiri color. Not a lot of colors to start, black and blue. So he sold them all the packs. And he said, the only way we'll do it is if you tell us how you're fishing it. And he said it. I'm throwing it weightless. I'm pitching around reeds, all that, and they're eating the heck out of it. And really, the rest is history. We all know about the Yamamoto Senko, how incredible this bait truly is. You know, but again, back to my story, 1995, I'm at Clear Lake, and this Bob Higgins, he told me, grab this root beer bait, wacky rig it. Didn't even tell me to Texas rig it. And this is really way before a wacky rig was really popular. And he said, throw it up next to the toolies, let this thing sink, and you'll see your line swim off. And sure enough, the first cast with the Yamamoto Senko on this little toolie line, I pitched it up there and I saw my line jet off. And instantly it was kind of addicting for me. And so really over the years, you know, this is going back 1995, forever ago. I was in high school. I had this addiction to throwing the wacky rig, and there's a couple reasons why. Obviously it catches a lot of fish, but you know, especially in the springtime, pre-spawn, post-spawn, those fish get real high up in the water column, and they're not really interested in something flying past their face, especially right before they go on to bed and start spawning. And so that Senko really just takes its time down, you know, wacky rig going down. And oh, let me back up real quick. But the wacky rig is when you're going to hook it in the middle here, and it's gonna be wacky, of course. It's gonna look really goofy, really wacky, and get to the hook I throw in a minute. But that's how you're gonna rig this wacky rig, right in the middle. But those fish they've already fed up, they've already ate, they're not really wanting to chase down. You think about a fish, their eyes are on top of their head, so they're going to be looking up. So that Senko's slowly going to fall in front of them, and it's something they can't resist. So when I first started throwing it, that's when I would throw it around docks, grass. It's a slower way to fish, but like I say, if a fish is sitting there, it's not wanting to chase, they will eat it. And arguably, is there any better bait to fish a pond with that you've ever been in? Is as a Wacky rig. So that's when it really started for me. Won a ton of money on it, really. Then it went from there to the spotted bass lakes, different colors, different situation. Now to a Nico rig. We've heard about same basic idea as a Wacky rig, just with a nail weight on it. That's going to go straight to the bottom here. It's going to fall down, spiral down. But one thing that's going to be in common with the weightless bait and the nail weighted bait is it's always going to be Wacky rig for me 95% of the time. The only time is if I'm fishing heavy grass, maybe down. Mikey lives in Florida. You're in Florida, right, Mikey? Florida. Yeah. So that's it. But other than that, Wacky rig is going to be the deal. And I'll tell you guys, it is so easy to fish too. That's the thing. Like if you don't know what you're doing, you basically throw it out there on slack line, you let it sink a little bit, you shake it a couple times, and you'll feel those fish pick it up. I mean, there's no cadence, there's no special shake it twice, let it sit. It's just let it sink, let it get down to the depth that they're at, or you feel like they're at, pop it a couple times, let it sink again. Very, very easy. Now, hook selection, it's really changed over the years. I used to throw an owner mosquito hook, throwing a Wacky rig, just to different things. Now I help design the owner sniper finesse Nico hook. It's a straight shank hook, really perfect gap. I like that straight shank. It just really hooks them better. And where you're going to hook this thing is when you see the Senko, obviously here's the tail. Try to get it in the phone here, the tail, then you're going to have the head. Now, when you're looking at this, you're going to see the egg sac here, we call it. You're going to have the first line. Here's the head over here. You're going to come down. You're going to have the first line, and then it's going to go to the second line. I rig it right on that second line. With that, go right through the bait. You can use a little O-ring here. I can save you guys some money. Go to MC MasterCar right here. This is a size 10, perfect for Yamamoto Senko. Buna 70, size 10. Obviously not a sponsor. They're $1.99. Don't pay $15. You could do that. Or if they're out of stock, you can't do that. Just go somewhere, tackle warehouse. Very, very cheap, very inexpensive, perfect. I don't like an O-ring on this when I'm throwing it weightless, though, in a tournament. And I know, you're obviously going to go through a lot more baits without the O-ring. I'll tell you guys, when you rig it, I want that hook to be directly out. When you rig it with the O-ring, when it's weightless, you lose more fish. You're going to save more baits, but you're going to lose more fish. Now, when I'm throwing it on a Wacky rig, nail weight here, that's 100% of the time I will use an O-ring. So, Mike, you mentioned Senko. I mean, that's the standard, but also this is a really good bait too. I've been kind of keeping this under wraps. This is a Gary Yamamoto Daiwa 5.8 straight Nico worm. We also make a 6.5, but this is basically, it's same type of thing, but really thin. Daiwa gave me these years ago. You can see how thin it is. It's got a little bit different tail, but this thing has unbelievable action. Let me turn the slide back on. Unbelievable action when it's Wacky rigged, when it is falling. And getting techie here, and then we'll answer some more questions. But real quick, when you're looking at these Senkos and you look at this tail here, you will see usually the tail will turn in one way. So it's going to be turned down one way. Very important that when you rig that thing, that tail, when it's turned down, it is always face down, okay? When it's faced to the side, faced up, it doesn't perform as well. When it's face down, you will get a lot more tail kick out of that as it's going down, resulting in more bites. Take that, David Dudley. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, that's exactly why we wanted you to talk about this, because I had no idea about that. Now, I mean, I guess you're answering some great questions and helping me out a lot. But I throw a lot of Senkos. I do. I love them down here. And just like you said, here in Florida, I got a lot of grass to deal with. I always throw a weightless Texas rig.
Yep.
And just I don't even like putting weight on it. If I can, I'll do that. Is there a time when I should be throwing a Wacky rig over that weightless Texas rig? Is there an advantage to it?
You know, so the advantage to the weightless Texas rig is it's going to be completely weedless, 100% weedless. You know, obviously with the Wacky rig, you know, we make like the owner Sniper Finesse Nico hook. We have a titanium weed guard on there. It really does help, but you know, you have an open hook, so you are going to hang up a little bit more. So that's the disadvantage with the Wacky rig over a Texas rig. But in my opinion, you just get so many more bites with that Wacky rig. So I will sacrifice not having it completely weedless, going through more hooks and more baits to get more bites, really maximize my bite with the Wacky rig.
Very, very good. Now, I know we're getting more questions. I don't want to hog them all up here or whatever, but I do have one more. They come in seven sizes: 4-inch, 5-inch, 3-inch, 6-inch, 7-inch. Is there a Wacky rig size, or does it matter?
You know, just depends where you're at. Like, so if I'm up north, smallmouth country, my standard always has been Yamamoto black 4-inch Senko, you know, or green pumpkin. I really like the 4 for smallmouth. And other than that, I will go to a 4-inch for largemouth. Really, really tough conditions. It's got to be gin clear, really, really tough. I would say 90% of the time it's a 5-inch Senko for me. That's definitely my go-to. And then, you know, occasionally we get California Delta, Texas. I'll go to that 6-inch or possibly that 7-inch. But really, I would say for me, most tournaments, you just need the 5-inch Senko. It's going to get the job done. But if you're going through that big bite, you know, Florida, Texas, California Delta, Clear Lake, and you're really trying to target those giant ones, you know, the 6 and 7-inch Senko is a really, really good option.
Oh, that's really good.
Cody, do you have a specific rod and reel setup? And I mean, I know you do, that you could show us that's like your go-to Wacky rig setup.
I do, yeah. So I don't have the reel with me. I left those in Redding, California, but at my buddy's house. But I'll show you. So this is a Daiwa Tattoo Elite rod. You know, this is a rod that I designed here, and it is really meant, guys, for this. I don't know if you can read this, but it's a 7-foot, 4-inch versatile rod. Again, Daiwa Tattoo Elite. I put the AGS guides on here. You know, it's a carbon fiber guide with a titanium insert. And this rod, again, 7 foot, 4 inches, has the absolute perfect tip, very, very soft tip, but a lot of backbone. It's about a medium power. And that rod, you know, again, the Senko has been something I've been throwing since 1995. So for a spinning rod, that is the perfect rod for throwing Senkos. I named it versatile because it's a great tube, shaky head, darter head, obviously Wacky rig rod, but 90% of what I do other than a drop shot, unless it's a heavy drop shot, is on that rod when I'm finesse fishing. So it's a versatile rod, but really excels for throwing the Wacky rig. It loads up perfectly when you throw it. I can see comments here, so I'll answer some of them too. But I can see, or that rod loads up really good, but it has the perfect parabolic action to really hook them. And just what I mean by loading up, really good for skipping this bait, for casting it, and more importantly, hooking and landing the fish. So again, Daiwa Tattoo Elite 7-foot, 4-inch versatile rod. As far as the reel goes, I love the Daiwa Tattoo LT, the Surte, and the Daiwa Exist. But that Daiwa Tattoola LT, in that series here, we have the Tattoola, again, the Surte, the Exist, but I like the 3000 size. It's a really high gear ratio reel, guys. It's a 6.2 to 1 with a really, really good drag. I feel like that 6.2 to 1 is 100% must have. You want something fast for fishing a Wacky rig. You know, a lot of times you're going to skip under a dock. They're going to take off. You want to be able to pick up to that line really quick. As far as the line goes, I love the Daiwa J-Braid X8 chartreuse color. Chartreuse is definitely my go-to. You know, somewhere along the years ago, 10 plus years ago, a buddy of mine, Dean Yozumi, he said, "Hey, throw the chartreuse colored line." I looked at him like, "You are absolutely nuts, Dean. Clear water, this is Lake Oroville." And he said it made so much sense when he said it. But when you throw that chartreuse color, it's like fly fishing. You're going to see that line on top of the water. You're going to be able to see when that bait is sinking, see when that bait stops. So you think about it. How many times have you guys gone out there and thrown out there with a green braid to a fluorocarbon leader, and all of a sudden you're like, man, I didn't think it was that deep. I thought, the bait should have been on the bottom. You pick it up and there's a fish on there. Well, now with that chartreuse line, you'll be able to see that float on top of the water. You'll see when it stops, when you get a bite. It really helps as a strike indicator. And a lot of these giant spotted bass we have that are suspending down in, 40, 50 feet, they will bite that bait and drop it before you know it. But with the chartreuse line, you really see it, and you can get on them and you can catch them. I like the X8 because of the chartreuse color. I also love the Daiwa J-Braid Grand. And 10-pound is my go-to. That's basically the only size I have for fishing and wacky rig. Real quick, favorite weather conditions, or is there weather conditions that favor wacky rig, and why? Really no. Overcast, wind, rain. You can kind of get them to bite reaction baits a little bit, but they still munch the wacky rig in those conditions. But where it really excels is when it's clear, calm, and possibly those colder mornings, stuff like that, where they're really not going to bite anything else but that. So hopefully that answered the question. And going back to the line again, Daiwa J-Braid X8, line leader size, fluorocarbon leader. I like an 8 to a 10-pound Daiwa J Fluoro Samurai. It's a new line we came out with this year, and I know this is a lot of Daiwa stuff here, guys, but this is what I really believe in. They came to me 2 years ago with this line. Truly, I can say this based on, swear on my kids' lives, that is the best fluorocarbon I've ever fished in my entire life. Very strong. So I throw that real quick. When the chartreuse, though, I go with a little bit longer of a leader, where the green braid to a fluorocarbon leader, you would use that maybe 7-8 foot, fluorocarbon leader, that 7 foot length, so it doesn't really go in the reel. With chartreuse, just for confidence wise, I'm going to go a 15-20 foot leader, especially in that clear water. I have zero problems reeling that knot into the spool. A lot of guys they'll just be anti. I've caught thousands of fish on light line, and no problem reeling it into the spool, maybe 1 or 2 reels, and then cut it off at the end of the rod. So you got that 15-20 foot leader, chartreuse line. That whole setup is money for that, guys.
That's really, really good. We got a bunch of questions here. Everybody's always got a bunch. I'm going to just grab this one. Matt Boyd Fishing. He got cut off a little bit. But fishing highland lakes like Bull Shoals or Norfolk Lake, do you use a weighted wacky hook, or would you usually go weightless like bluffs or steep banks?
Yeah, so weighted wacky hook, I've got into the really on and off throughout the years. On a weighted bluff, that's when if you notice the fish are down deeper, that's a perfect situation to go that, like a owner little weighted hook with the weed guard's a good one. It really depends on that, how deep they are in the water column. And if they're really, moving up the spawn and they don't really want to follow a bait down to go really fast, weightless one's going to be better. But if you're moving pretty quick, I've been to Bull Shoals, I've been to Norfolk. A weightless is going to be really good too. Just if they're in that 15-20 foot range, you obviously have to go with the weighted to get it moving a little bit quicker, cover more water. If they're really in that 5-10 foot range, I do prefer the weightless. I do think they bite the weightless a little bit better, but just depending on where they're at in the water column.
All right. So, I wouldn't have thought of that. If you're fishing deep water, you will throw a weightless as well?
I will, yeah. I'll tell you, those big, giant spotted bass, they will not go to the bottom most of the time. They're going to be suspended high in the water column. I've caught them down 30, 40 feet. It takes forever. It takes forever. But some of those ones that are sitting there, you can see them on your Garmin Live Scope, and they're sitting out there, and a bait goes by them, they won't even turn their head to look down. And when that thing's falling down really, really slow, they'll look up and they'll swim up to it and they'll eat it. And again, it's not the most effective way to cover water, but sometimes that is the best way to catch some of those great big ones.
Wow, that's great. And then Paul is asking, on Northern Lakes, Clearwater, smallies, what setup would you use? Line, hook, favorite color?
Yeah, so for a Wacky rig, I would do that same exact setup. I might downsize a little bit to an 8-pound leader. Favorite color, it just depends. If we're up north, Clearwater, they really love black. Even in that gin Clearwater, they eat a ton of leeches. But if not, you can't go wrong with the green pumpkin. This is one of my favorites. This is 330. This is green pumpkin purple copper. But along those lines, smallmouth, they love green pumpkin, and they really, really do love black. So either of those are going to be good. Favorite hook would be probably, if I'm going a 4-inch, it's going to be a size number 2 owner Sniper Finesse Nico hook, number 2. 5-inch, I might step it up a little bit. I throw number 1 a lot of times, or you can go with the mosquito hook. But again, I really do prefer that straight shank style hook, and the owner one is perfect. But really small. Number 2 is the one you want to throw there.
Okay, very, very good. You see any more questions there, Ricky, that I might have missed?
Yeah, I think most of it we've already covered. But Cody's got to get off here in a few minutes, and I know we've got 3 more big announcements we need to break tonight, right?
Yeah.
So the first one is Cody just today partnered with Rapid Fishing Solutions.
Yes, you guys, Rapid, excuse me, Rapid Fishing Solutions. This is some awesome stuff. Again, Ricky, you brought this to me years ago. Rapid Fishing Solutions hook all here, and I'm having a hard time getting in this camera. It looks easier, but if you have not seen this is a tool that is for every angler a must-have. And what they've done here, they came out with some little clear disc here. You got black, clear, red. And what I'm going to do, I'll show you what you do here. Very, very simple. Times like right now, baits are harder to get. And so you're going to load these discs up. I'm going to show you a couple of ways you can save some baits, but also rig some treble hooks or some stinger hooks. So give James Watson some love. I had his buzz bait laying on the ground. I almost stepped on it, so I grabbed it. But I'm going to take my owner little 2-watt, spinnerbait trailer. Let's say real quick, you want to put a spinnerbait trailer on a buzz bait. I'm going to hook this bait here, or put the hook on. And out of the package, they have that little clear deal on these hooks. And so the hook is really pretty stationary. So with the hook all, I'm going to put that on there. I loaded that little disc right in there. You can see it's on the top one. It's clear. I'm going to put it on this buzz bait, and I'm going to pop it through just like this. And now it's out. So you can see this little guy is on there. Now this is going to be free swinging, a lot more action, less likely to lose them, less likely to hook them. Okay, so that's one way I love to use this Rapid Fishing Solution little hook all with the clear disc. But also, let's just say you have a swim bait on here. You can push this bait down, and it's going to really be on that swim bait. So now, if you're throwing, let's say, a Kitech, they're very expensive. You get 1 fish per bait, basically. Well, now if you push this little disc down on the back, so the hook's going to be exposed like that, there's not going to be a lot of movement here. You're going to catch a lot more. That 4 or 5 fish out of that bait were before is a 1 fish, 1 and done type bait. So again, Rapid Fishing Solutions, this is something, there are so many great products, but this is one off the top of my head that every tournament last year, basically I used this. And, I've seen, unbelievable fishermen, Aaron Martins, he told me about this a long time ago as well too. So guys like that are using it. It's a must have. Keep trying to keep it as quiet as it can, but great stuff here. And, very excited, really good people, just like Blazer, Rapid Fishing Solution. I love companies that have great, outstanding people. And, it's stuff that's proven, this is stuff that's proven. I'm sure Bill McDonald talked about it, but it's not stuff that they're throwing out there, just ideas off their top of their head. It's stuff that pros, like myself, go to Rapid Fishing Solutions, have ideas. It's stuff that's proven. that's going to, you know, catch you guys more fish.
Right, Cody. And the swim bait deal to me with the ball head and a Kitech is the biggest one. I mean, I use that probably more than any of the stuff.
Yes.
So it's rapidfishingsolutions.com. These next two announcements, I'll probably get in trouble for letting you do it, but here we go. This is some serious breaking news.
Breaking news right here on Bass.
You heard it first here from Cody Meyer. So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Again, I'm glad you said that, Ricky, because if we get in trouble, I can always blame Ricky. Hey, here's
always blame me.
So, as you can tell, one, I've been talking about all night, but Gary Yamamoto, guys, officially signed with Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits. I am really excited about Gary Yamamoto. You know, again, this is stuff I've been throwing my entire career. Ricky's seen what I have, and you know, the Cinco, Flap and Hog, the cut tail. I mean, there are so many fantastic things from Gary Yamamoto. Growing up here on the West Coast, it's always been an absolute go-to for me. So really, really excited about that. Love their products. You know, it's funny. Years ago, Cajun Baby said, "What's your favorite color Cinco?" And I said, 297. And we started laughing because I've literally, I don't think there's hardly any colors. I don't know, just based off the number 297, you know, 021, stuff like that. So really excited about Gary Yamamoto. Been a staple for me for years and going to be for years to come. And the other one is a hard bait sponsor, jigs, stuff like that, is Evergreen International. You know, we've all heard about the Evergreen jackhammer, the vibrating jig, Brett Height design, and it's you guys, it's phenomenal stuff. You know, you think about how good the jackhammer is. If you haven't fished it, you're really missing out. You know, that's something we all fish. Absolutely phenomenal bait. Well, and the other baits, the hard baits, the crank baits, the top waters, we got some really cool stuff coming out as well. But that same quality is in those baits. And again, I love picking up a bait out of the package, knowing that thing's going to run true. It's been tested. You know, they come with awesome hooks on there, amazing color jobs. And again, Evergreen is one of those baits where each bait, when they're designed in Japan, comes out and it is top notch, ready to go, been tested for years and years. And again, both of those, very, very excited about. Both of those are two that, you know, I cannot wait to tell the whole world about. And I'm excited about the opportunities for both of those with products, colors, the actions of both of them. And I really feel like they're going to help my fishing for sure.
Here it is right here. You know what bait that is. Can you see it?
Yeah, Evergreen Flat Force.
Talk about that a little bit, because I know you've had some experience with it.
I've had some tremendous experience with that. That has been my go-to for the last couple of years. I was buying them on eBay. Real funny story. So Evergreen is with Daiwa in the U.S. Daiwa helps import some of their baits. And I'm asking Brett Height, my team partner in this journey here for these baits. Of course, Brett's not going to give me any baits. And so I go to eBay back then, because it was strictly only a JDM bait at the time, buying some of these. And this Flat Force, you guys, if you have not heard about it, seen it, go to tacklewarehouse.com right now. Check them out. It's a little circuit board lip square bill. It's my go-to, the bait I have the most confidence in for a square bill by far right now, maybe ever. I mean, you know, one of the MLF Cup events, I won the day on it. Absolutely blasted them, a little cold shad color. Again, they come out of the package ready to go. Never going to have to tune them, adjust them.
Yeah.
Extremely deflects cover really well. It's done over wood and some rock. And again, all the thoughts and everything. It took a long time for Evergreen to make each one of these baits. So you know when they come out, they're going to be really good. And plus, I've already seen stuff that's coming out this year you guys are going to be really excited about. You know, stuff similar to the Evergreen jackhammer. And there is so many baits in Japan that they're so good. It's like, hey, we got to bring them here to America. So we're going to definitely work on that. And, you know, again, it's stuff that I have confidence in. I'm excited about. Evergreen, Yamamoto, Rapid Fishing Solution, Blazer Boats. huge year for me. A lot of changes, and I'm not a guy to change a whole lot of stuff. 2020 was a different year, but really for me, outstanding year. Aligned myself with a lot of really good companies that I feel strongly about, love the people there, and more importantly, really love the products there at all 4 of those.
Right, Cody. And I think one thing we had talked about was that these companies, these 4 companies that you've aligned yourself with for this year, you're actually going to have input in design and manufacturing to get what, the exact same product that you use. And I think that's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. You look at some of the stuff. Take Brett Height, for example, with Yamamoto and Evergreen. He came to Evergreen and said, hey, I love throwing a vibrating jig, a chatterbait. You want to make the best chatterbait in the world. Well, yeah, let's make it. So they went through countless things, trial and error to get that bait exactly perfect. Then he went to Yamamoto and said, hey, I want a vibrating jig, chatterbait trailer. This is what I want. I want to, the Yamamoto Zaco here. We got to take some of the salt out. The Cinco has a lot of salt to get that sink. The Zaco has a lot less salt, so it's not going to tear as easy. It's going to not be as heavy to weight the bait down. And so stuff like that is very important. Daiwa did something similar, with the rods, the whole Tattoo Elite rod. I had 20 different models in my hand before I came out with that 7'4" versatile. And Ish Monroe, Brent Ayler, Seth Fighter, we all did the same. So I love companies and Rapid Fishing Solutions. I literally talked to the man today, Mickey, and we talked about some similar things. And so when companies go to guys that fish all the time and, hey, give us your input, colors, baits, how can we make it better? How can we catch more fish for other guys? You feel really special, and that's what you really want to be with. And you want to be with guys that are going to make you fish better and let more people catch fish. And really all 4 of those, including the Blazer boat, let you catch more fish, go faster. They're all listening. And again, I know I've said it 4 or 5 times now, but really excited, guys, about my decisions here and about the new adventure I'm about to start.
That's awesome. And you know what? I'm really excited for you too, Cody. To be honest, I know you well enough that I know you've been using some of these products, but you couldn't really talk about it. I'm most excited that now you can use them. Like, heck yeah. You always want to talk about what you're working with. So these are products that you didn't just join these because it was the best deal. You joined these because these are products you use and love, and that have it make them even better your way to suit better. I'm real excited for you. In fact, I am so excited. I said this earlier. I don't think I said it when we had you on last time, but I made a pretty bold prediction a couple months back about who to watch in 2021. And I picked 2 anglers that I believed are the 2 guys that are going to win something good this year. And you were one of them. So my money is on you, Cody Meyer. And now that you told me all these great things of Yamamoto and Evergreen and Blazer boats and Rapid Fishing, I think I got a pretty good. That's like a sure bet. I think the odds are in my.
No pressure, Cody. Hey, Mikey, we got to get him off here, man. We ran over.
Yeah,
Cody,
we did.
Thank you for joining us, man. It was awesome.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Mikey, thank you, man. I hope you're definitely right. I'm excited about 2021. And, as always, thank you guys for having me on here. Love to come back. And I will be talking to you guys soon.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. Give the kids and wife a hug for me, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you again, my friend.
Yep.
All right, Ricky.
All right, Mikey.
Awesome.
That was a good show right there. Cody's always a pleasure to have on and be around.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think it's going to be a breakout year for him this year. Not to say that he hasn't had a great career as it is.
He's one of those very consistent anglers. He's always up there. He's always in the thick of it, always in the hunt.
That's right.
I think this is going to be the year where he really just pulls that trigger. At least I'm putting my money on it anyway. I really think he's going to have a great, great year. I think you folks out there are going to be hearing Cody Meyer's name quite a lot this year.
That's right. And we're pretty excited about being able to bring some of these new products to you guys first, and from the tournaments. We'll have some unique stuff coming from Evergreen and Rapid and Yamamoto as well. Look for a full review of his boat at the first Big Five tournament. We'll knock that out when we're down there with them. And not a better guy, great friend, and
he's just fun to talk with, no matter what. And he's just got a ton of knowledge on those things. The way he broke down a Wacky rig, and I mean, we could probably go on for 2 more hours about that.
Yeah, after I got to thinking about it, I knew tonight probably wasn't the best night to do the in-depth Wacky rigs. We had so much other stuff to talk about. But anyway, man, it's Thursday night. Tomorrow's Friday. Then we're a week from Christmas. A week Christmas Eve. Tuesday night we have planned, not confirmed, but planned. Kelly Jordan and Brent Ayler will be talking about Lucky Craft jerkbait. So that should be a great show as well. Mark it on your calendar. Set yourself a reminder. It's going to be huge.
That's right. That's one of our master classes.
That's right.
Hero and Kelly Jordan on Squareville crankbaits. We got a whole bunch of these in this series we're calling Masterclass. So really excited. Hopefully that comes to fruition, but it is the last week before Christmas. Things are getting kind of hectic for everybody. Everybody's got their family engagements, things to do. So we want to make sure that everyone enjoys it, but we get as much information as we possibly can. You guys out there for sure. Now, we tried to do something a little special. We've been talking about it for the last couple episodes on a portion of these live casts that we really want to do with you folks out there that are watching here and stuff. We're calling, I don't know what we're going to call it, but we're going to, when we know who we have on the day of, we're going to have Cody Meyer on today. We knew that. So we were going to put out a post where we want you guys to share a story or whatever the topic's going to be that day, whatever you got. And we're going to actually pick one of those stories and have you included in the live cast later on. So we'll bring you on live if that's what you want to do. It's kind of like a little contest, but it's a way to get you guys involved a little more. I got a little graphic right here, as you guys can see. The question mark over the angler. Who is it? Who's going to be the next guest? Well, that could be you. We want to start bringing our fans, our pros fans, everybody involved, get on the live cast as well, along with all of us here. So keep that out there. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you're looking at the posts and everything that's out there. When we post for the day of who's going to be there, probably shortly after it, you're going to see a post look very similar to this, if not just that one. And that's the one that you're going to want to enter on. Put your comment in there, whatever the question is, and we're going to pick one of those best comments. We're going to reach out to you, send you a message, and get your information so we can get you on here live with whoever that guest is that show. I think that's going to be a pretty cool thing.
I agree, Mikey. I think it's an opportunity to talk to your favorite fishermen, and the guys will enjoy it. We'll have fun with it, and hopefully they'll make fun of the guests instead of me sometimes.
Yeah, well, honestly, take the attention away from me.
That's right. All right, man. Go ahead and shut this thing down. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Cody, and thanks to everybody that watched.
That was it. Thank you guys very much. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, on the web at bass365.com, and also make sure that you loaded up on the app. The app is out there, and we were broadcasting live today on the app. So it's Bass365 Live. That's the new app made for anglers, by anglers, and it's just fishing. So if you're tired of the social media clutter that's out there, join on the app. Get on there. You can post, you can buy, you can sell, you can just brag. It's fishing 365, nothing but on the new Bass365 app. So we appreciate that, guys. We hope you do join up with that. And again, all these live casts are being broadcast live right there on your smartphone. So great app. Of course, we got the Bass365 store. We got some good stuff going on there, some good sales for the holidays. Everything else is going along really well. So we appreciate you guys and everything that you do. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas to you and your family. We will have one more show on Tuesday, and then we're probably going to take a little break for the holidays to spend it with our families as well. So, guys, we appreciate it very much. Thank you very much for everything, for all the great comments and joining in. Every show is getting better, and it's just going to get even better the more you guys get involved. So make sure you're following, set your notifications, and we will see you guys again very soon. Merry Christmas, everybody.